G'day all, Matty Junga Lawyer here, aka Junga Bunga, and this is my new YouTube channel that I've decided to start on my drag racing adventures and my car projects. Today we're just gonna introduce myself and introduce one of my cars, my old HQWAGON, and yeah, basically a bit of background story. I'm 24 years of age from Warwick, Queensland in Australia, and I've been brought up in a rev head, basically a drag racing family. My father's raced since he was 18, and his brothers have been racing since the 70s at Service Paradise Raceway at the Gold Coast. And basically the bug hit pretty hard, and I've been around it my whole life, been racing junior dragsters from when I was 8 through to 16. And then as soon as I was 17, I jumped in the family's LX hatchback Tirana supercharged outlaw car that we campaign. You know, started building engines when I was 14 with my uncles and my father, and learning to tune the car and maintenance. And yeah, when I was 16, going on 17, I jumped in the Tirana and licensing it, and haven't looked back. I've also raced a modified dragster, a rail that had a 358 small block Chev, ventured into a 383. Campaigned it for 2 seasons, and in our first season at Willowbank, we led the series all year, and I think we come 3rd overall in modified. So we were pretty successful in that car, in that dragster. From then I jumped back in the Tirana hatchback and started running a lot of 8th mile events in supercharged outlaws and some quarter mile action. And the best I did in that car was a 765 at 193 mile an hour. I only ran the quarter mile. I think I did 4 quarter mile passes in it. Most of it was 8th mile. It ran a best of 488 at 150 to the 8th mile. The car's been faster, but that's what we sort of like to keep it at for less maintenance, and we like to make a few laps at each event we go to. So that was a bit of fun, and still is a bit of fun. It'll be back out in the next year. But from there, we also fairly involved, the family's heavily involved with Warwick Dragway 8th mile track, and I'm on the committee and like to do as much as I can out there. I currently do all the track prep. Been learning the trade for a while off my uncle Chris, and I've been promoting a few events the last few years. And yeah, just love the drag race and love travelling around drag race and love having our Warwick Dragway events. And yeah, that's basically it. Behind me here is my old HQWAGON Longroof street car I've built. We're going to get to that very shortly. But to start with, I got one of my own drag meets coming up next Saturday, sorry. Junga Bunga No Prep Cash Days at Warwick Dragway. It's our first drag meeting back since COVID-19, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's going to be good. Also, I'm testing the wagon at Kenda test session tomorrow. So we're going to try and get a bit of footage for all you to start off this Junga Bunga racing channel. What you're going to see from this channel, we're just amateurs having a go, basically a good group of mates and family that love to go drag racing. So we do a little bit of, you know, suspension tuning, dyno tuning, like to have a crack at it anyway, and basically drag racing on the black dyno. That's where the results count. So yeah, that's basically it for the background story. And we'll have a look at me HQWAGON, and we'll get into some details. This old girl started life as a 1974 Holden HQ Belmont wagon, which she still is, all original. Basically, not much is cut in the old girl. She is a street car. street strip application. We actually got it, I've had it probably 3 or so years. We got it in a deal, a car that was sold, and this was a part trade. I bought it off the old boy, and it had a 202 Holden 6-cylinder in it, 3 on the tree, column shift manual, and I drove it for a year and a bit on the road as the 6-cylinder, turned her up, and actually I won a meeting in it, the stick shift class at the 6-banger nationals at Warwick Dragway, and like everything else I've had, I want to go faster. This is my first street car I've built. I had a VL Turbo that I brought and done a lot of work to. It was a 9-second car, 990s. It ran 2016. Pretty basic combo, but this is the first one I've built up from the ground up, and I wanted to try the LS route because we haven't done one yet. So yeah, this is her. She's in race trim at the moment, ready to go at Kenda at the radial expression session test day. She hasn't been on track since March, sorry. We haven't raced since March, since coronavirus hit. But she runs on a 235 Pro bracket radial. Works good. It weighs around 3,700 pound, something like that. We'll have a look at her. She needs a bit of a tidy up, but she's got Holly EFI. That's the Holly dash. Pro bracket, yeah, one of them carbon fibre B&M Pro shifters. Still got the bench seats in it, no roll cage yet. Oh, we're all full. We're ready for the Kenda tomorrow. It's yeah, basically it's a L77 LS deal with LS3 heads, stock bottom end. It's got a turbo 400, trans brake, and a 9-inch diff. Here's the old LS. They fit in. She's not the tightest. I've got stuff going everywhere since I last put the motor back in, but they're not a bad fit. It's got the Castlemaine rod shop LS conversion, inch and 7/8 pipes go into 3-inch. Nice little combo. Holly EFI makes the world of difference for tuning. I'd like to thank Kevy from KPM Performance Gatton. He got me the system and set me up and has taught me everything I know about them so far. It's got a fair few braided hoses. Chinese radiator, $180 radiator that we put a twin 10-inch thermo fans on it, and it runs pretty good. I spent money where I could and where I didn't have to. I got a few things I got to upgrade. It's got transcooler thermo fan in the front. Yeah, basically a cool little combo, and she runs on the giggle gas. We got nitrous, got an NX kit, NX nitrous kit, dry system we run. Add the fuel through the Holly. Just give you a little look around. But we're just getting it ready for Kenda tomorrow. I've just taken the street tyres off it. Shed's in a mess. That's my 275 60s. A lot bigger than the 235 Pro brackets we run. Got the old Holly dash with all the safety built in it. We got a stereo. She's a good old school cruiser. We're going to go a cage one day, but just working out when the best time is. Yeah, hopefully it runs good tomorrow, Kenda, and we can bring you some footage for the new channel. Basic rundown, it started life as a standard L77. Ended up getting a 233 duration cam at 590 lift. That netted it to, it made 400 at the tyres, ran in this combo. It only had a 3200 stall, and I didn't run the quarter many times. The aspirator, but it ran 11.7s. That was a 745 the half track to the 8th mile. It was stock everything. Stock ring gap, stock top end. We added some giggle gas, went 1107, 706, 704 it went to the 8th mile, 101 mile an hour. We have since pulled the, what did we do? We ended up putting double valve springs, new push rods, heavy duty push rods in it. Did a bit of head porting. Kevy did a KPM performance, and we ended up running, we've done 100 runs in 1 year. Started off running in the high sixes, and we ended up running 657 at 103. We kept giving it nitrous until it didn't improve. It was running about 150 shot in the end is the quickest it was running at. From there, we pulled the engine out, got the converter cut open, and stored it up a bit more. It's still only small. It's only 3,500 RPM store. We got the engine. We pulled the engine out. We done the ring gaps. Filed them. We put a new cam in it, a 234, 249, 600-ish lift. Still stock pistons and everything, stock bottom end. Just gave it a refresh. And we put it on the dyno, 200 shot. We made 593 rear wheel horsepower, 427 rear wheel horsepower aspirated. Took it to Sydney Kenda in February, and that's where we PB'd to a 643 at 110 mile an hour in near perfect conditions down there. It was like 500 above sea level, and it was quite cool at night. Yeah, we went to our third finals at Kenda Radial Ride in the 640 class, Radial Rumble, and we got runner up. From there, we got one other little bracket meeting at Warwick Dragway 8th mile out here, a little regional track that we're involved with, and it ran 650. So since then, we've done nothing but stay idle. We've added a anti-roll bar, Gazza Brother anti-roll bar on the rear end, and we're eager to test it out tomorrow at the Kenda test days, and hopefully we can bring you a fair bit of footage. Righto guys, well that's enough for the video today. We'll have a couple videos, hopefully have a video out next week, and we'll try and get it out Friday before my no prep cash days on Saturday, July the 25th. I'm running a small tyre bracket and a street tyre bracket, and we've got 28 races in each class. It should be a great day. 2 test hits. The track hasn't been raced on since March, and before then November. We've only had 1 race meet on there. The track's going to be totally untouched. It has rained last week, so the track will be a little bit clean, better than normally. So here we go. It's a 2 test hit style event, and straight into elimination. If you lose, we will continue to grudge race. But I'm paying $2,500 for small tyre and $1,200 for street tyre, so we're going to try and bring you some footage. If you could get on and check out the overtaking lane fellas, they're going to do the live feed for the event, and they're also going to do a video on that event, which is going to be quite awesome. So you'll get to see the footage because there's no spectators. But anyway, Junga Bunga here, and we're checking out of our episode 1 of Junga Bunga Racing. Cheers.